Some people are off today because it's Columbus Day. For those that got the day off, I hope y'all enjoy your Monday. Guys, as you walk in, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. Hakeem, Jordan, what is popping like and what is cracking? What's happening?
Living the dream.
Hey man, I'm feeling good. Hey, my Lions won again, man. We on a winning streak, man. We gonna keep winning and winning. I see you. Your San Francisco. They whooped off Dallas real bad, Ronnie, man.
Yeah, I know that for those that's a Cowboys fan, sorry to hear about y'all terrible loss. But that's when you know how to keep your mouth shut. But go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Okay, then well, let's go, and let's get it. What's going on, people? What's going on? Glad y'all coming in the chat. Y'all joining us on a wonderful Monday evening. We appreciate you guys. So let's get to the topic. So over the weekend, there's a podcast called that Shahrazad was our lead. She was on there. She was on there for like an hour and 50 minutes. That she had a wonderful interview. But the thing is, one the part of the interview it was a thing about she was talking about interview was asking questions about Kevin Samuels and everything, about his legacy, about his work he done with YouTube and everything. And which we will play. We will play the part of what she was talking about Kevin Samuels. If you guys saw it or not seeing what people thought it was a slight diss to his legacy in a way because I guess the questions she was asking for if Kevin Samuels did a good job of kind of following what her blueprint or what she wrote down with her book and everything. And some people felt like it was kind of like a diss. I mean, personally for me, what I saw, and I think it was like a little bit criticism. Some stuff I agree with. Some stuff that's like, I don't know if I agree with that. But yeah, it was kind of a little bit trending on these YouTube spaces and everything, and we're gonna definitely gonna talk about it. So go ahead, Akeem, play the clip, and stop at the 7 minute and 30 mark after you're done with that. Hey, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use.
From what I understand, you spoke to Kevin Samuels numerous times, and he acknowledged your work as being an inspiration for his views about relationships in our community, right? Did you agree with Kevin Samuels' approach?
No, I didn't agree with Kevin Samuels. He agreed with me. And he was always so respectful to me. And we were getting ready to do something though. We were going to do a big thing in Atlanta. And then he went and died. So I guess that wasn't supposed to happen. But Kevin, the book woke him up, and it gave him the courage to discuss and address these things since I had did it and had put out the blueprint. And so he was a bit crude. I had told him I didn't think he would be successful because of how he was going about it. But he told it the way he saw it, and he was not successful. He was successful in his platform, getting hundreds of thousands of people, 3, 4, 500,000 people were, tuning in to hear him and his comments. But I don't know. I'm sure it benefited some of the women because it put us in check about what we think our overrated value is. Okay, and we think we have a greater value because we think that we are in charge of sex. Okay, and most men will just about do anything or go along with anything if they think that. Well, that's changing. Okay, that is not all completely the way it was. This is the thing I wanted to mention, and I don't usually talk about this. When I say that we're living in trends, the messenger talked about when we get out of control or too savage that we live in a beast life. Okay. Our younger people, that children of the future them, are living somewhat of a beast life. Because the new trend now, and I only know about this because they put it out there in the public on the Instagram and the internet and on the Facebook and everything. One of the things that scientists say separates the humans from the animals is that humans mate face to face. Animals mate from the rear. Well, it's popular now that that's what they're all doing, mating from the rear and doing all kind of other distasteful things and calling it sex. That's a bad sign. Okay. There's a different connection, as we all know, of face to face than another kind of way. People are getting hurt. They're choking each other. They're spitting in each other's mouth, doing all kind of things that would never, ever have been considered as sexual pleasure. There's something wrong in that. I don't know how long they're going to be practicing that, and they're even doing oral sex in people's anus and their behinds, all kind of stuff, crazy stuff. And I'm talking about it because we need to know, and we need to start trying to teach something differently. Okay, that's not no love. That's not no showing of love. That's something crazy. And the girls are accepting it. Young women are being choked, or somebody spitting in their mouth. All kind of insanity things, and they calling it sex. That ain't no sex. I don't know what kind of beast life that is, but that's another trend that I hope passes, because that's taking it to such a low level. Where can it go after that? And how long then will generations think that that's affection? So that's a very bad sign, I think. And that the young women think that that's natural, as I said, that they going along with this, and that the men are tiring really of them at all. They don't even want to look at them. And I'm concerned about that, and I think we all should be.
I just wanted to touch on the Kevin Samuels thing one more time. Do you believe he helped bring interest into your works with a new generation?
No, I don't think so. I think it just, it was so personally, individually critical. I don't think that ever helps. I think you have to be civilized and you're asking and telling. And I don't think that that kind of overly critical criticism of an individual, each person individually, no, that does not help, especially publicly. As I said, we already got low self-esteem. And that don't mean build us up on some false bravado. I don't mean that. But I mean, we just have to be more gentle with each other. We are damaged creatures.
Let me reword it. I apologize. I wanted to ask, do you think his work brought more attention to your book? With a new generation, with a younger generation that probably didn't know about
I'm not
work.
sure. See, the other thing is, remember, we're in a society where they're teaching against reading. All right, everybody either want to hear it or see it. So reading is not as popular. So I'm not sure if it worked that way. My sales have been impacted on a lot of things. You know, that must be 50 books out called The Black Man's Guide and The Black Woman's Guide. You know, so many people have copied, you know, my title. So I'm not sure it worked that way. I'm still selling books, and he's still, I'm sure, there's still brothers out there now trying to take his place. So that's just, you know, the way that turned out. He got me, I think, more attention for me, toward me as a writer, as a sister, you know. But I know my place in the world, and I'm just a woman. That's not an insult. That's not a put down, but I am not a man. See, God is a man. You represent God, and I tell black women, the closest you may ever get to God is being with a black man, because he looks more like you than me. And we have so many things out here affecting our respect and image of self. That's the other reason black women don't want to believe that the black man is God, because they think the black man they know ain't nothing, and that y'all ain't nothing, so there ain't no way you could be God. In fact, you have some brothers who have surrendered, and they walking around talking about the black woman as God. Some more absurd, silly nonsense that we waste our time on.
When did that start, this notion that the black woman was God?
Well, they just...
So I see, she had a little, criticism with, with Kevin Samuels about his work and everything. And as you guys know who was Shahrazad Ali was, she was she's an American author. She wrote, books like I Used to a Slave, Day by Day. the Black Woman, God's Understanding of Black Man. And then the big controversial one was the Black Man, God's Understanding of the Black Woman. And that particular book right there was very, very controversial back in the late 1980s to the 1990s. That book, he really stirred, a lot of controversy in our Black community, especially with Black women that gets hurt and everything. And now with that, I believe, Kevin Samuel, he read the book and he was a big fan of Shahrazad Ali. And, he was reading that, and kind of using that blueprint, to his content creation, and which, he did. And, he kind of used it, and, it made him more controversial as well. And, it made him, his YouTube following, really big, not just popular in the United States, but, all over the world, from Europe, Africa, South America, and then Australia and everything. And even though we don't know the statistics of how many marriages he saved, or the marriages that he got people married, even though he might be son, but we don't exactly know the number or anything. But I personally believe he did make an impact, because he has the subscribers and also the views he watched and everything. But as court with marriage and everything, it can be 50-50. We don't know. So what Sarah's always, for her view on it, that's what she believes in and everything. But some people, you know, what they saw this, of what she was saying, they thought of Cam Sings, as we still talking about him, even though he passed away over a year ago, he's still talking about him, he still got contact, and he still gets subscribers from his YouTube space, and people, still pay for his memberships and everything. I still think he has a Patreon, so people still pay for it and everything. And his content still is right to this day. And and the channel still put out content, every couple of weeks and everything. I think he put out content a couple of days ago, so everything. So this is, so we're gonna talk about if Sarah Ali was right or wrong about Kevin Samuel. So I'm gonna pass it to you guys. I'm gonna start with you, Ronnie. Which was Sarah Ali would say about Kevin Samuel? Do you think that she was correct about her criticism, or was she wrong about her criticism about Kevin Samuels?
Now, of course, I always say God rest the soul of Kevin Samuels because he's no longer here. Of course, not to defend himself. All this what we're saying now is based on opinion, and not we saying is actual factual. It's just based on straight up opinion. However, Sazar Allah Ali is someone who I do highly respect. I do call her the queen and the lovely woman of when it comes to the aspect of the Nation of Islam. I actually listened to a lot of her teachings before even Kevin Sutton started talking to her. I actually was listening to a lot of her teachings because I think Hakeem was the one that kind of brought me into her because she's in the family of the Nation of Islam. So I used to watch like certain teachings of like different women opinion when it comes to the aspect of man dating, and also when it comes to the black man image. And to me, I think she does a great job breaking it down very very well. Now I say women can teach, and she to me I call her the godmother, the godmother of the Nation of Islam because a lot of people do respect her, and she's very strong in her opinion, and also when she also speaks some facts on certain things. Now, when it comes to the aspect of Kevin Samuels, now here's the thing: some of the things I personally believe some of the stuff she's saying is very disingenuous because at the same time, a lot of people didn't know who she was into Kim Samuel. People knew who she was if you actually was in the Nation of Islam, or you followed like the Muslim teaching. But if you don't really follow the Muslim teaching and then you just going based on YouTube, Kevin Samuel kind of gave her a little push because at some point her message got buried. People stopped talking about her book. People stopped talking about her messages and the stuff she'll teach about the black woman, the black man, how black women need to respect the black man, get into the ideal like what is the black man actually thinking when it comes to the aspect of relationship. Kevin Samuel constantly mentioned her book, constantly. Like I remember all the time when I used to watch some of his content, he used to always say like Cesar Allah Ali, how she talks about how black women need to be submissive, black women need to listen to the man, black women need to stop being masculine. He used to pretty much put her book pretty much like the blueprint of black women to understand black men. So for her to say that um he didn't put no value into her book, I kind of disagree with that. if you catch my drift. So, I think what she doing is, I don't know if she doing it because of the aspect that she's not trying to be affiliated with him, because Kevin Samuels always had ridicule and always got backlash. So that's the thing I really don't know. So I'm gonna see how Hakeem's take on it, and I might just come back with a second opinion. But right now, I think she's just doing it because she don't want to get control of that. You know what I'm saying? So Hakeem, what's your thoughts on that?
Brother, I agree with you 100%. You just took the words right out of my mouth. Nobody didn't know who she was before she in this generation. You had to be Muslim. You had to be Muslim to know who she was. Her reign was in the 80s. And even then, if you're Muslims, a lot of young new Muslims in the Nation of Islam did not know who she was. You know what I mean? You had to be aware of her work, aware of this. Kevin Samuel, who was our senior and older, who was aware of the Nation of Islam, who was aware of the work, and he's always talked about the Nation of Islam cleaning up the men, cleaning up the women. Mentioned Shahrazad Ali. He made you lit this summer. Only reason why they was talking about you because he spoke about you. There's no other person from the dating web world who was talking about, damn sure not the white boys in the manosphere. The white boys, Richard Cooper, Rolo Tomasi, them boys did not mention you. Fresh and Fit, even Obsidian, you know what I mean, did not mention you. And this is no points intended. Even our beloved Osei Duke Jackson, he did not mention you. Kevin did. Kevin gave facts, statistics, and a basis to stand on. People was worrying about his tone, how he was delivered the message. Your message could be just as well as equal, if not aligned to what Kevin said about the black women. We ain't said it. You wrote the book. A lot of his talking points came from her book. And then she say, hey, your delivery. We are hurt people. Oh, wow. So what Roni said was right. It is disingenuous. You know what I mean? For her to make that statements. And don't get me wrong, the first part of the conversation I wasn't too mad about. She sounded like an old school person who don't want to give nobody credit. Most old timers are like that. You know what I'm trying to say? If they grew up in that era, the 60s, 70s era, they don't care. They don't giving nobody credit but themselves. You know what I mean? And still want to try to be right. But other than that, I didn't know who I was listening to. You know what I mean? Then you was like, he went off and died and chuckled and laughed. No, we not doing that, baby. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna let you take it as Kevin did one major thing that a lot of people don't want to admit to. He made us start looking at relationships differently. He made it to the point where men finally wanted to have a conversation, because usually men just hold in what's going on, and then you have the examples of men cheating, having kids out of wedlock, doing all sorts of crazy stuff because they did not want to talk about what they was going through in their relationships with the woman that they're with. Instead of that, instead of them doing the wild stuff, they started talking more. So now this can prevent a lot of the shenanigans that are going on now.
Yeah, for me, what Sarah Ali was saying, like I said, to me, I don't know why she do this, but personally, I still want to get this man the flowers because that's looking at it from the man aspect. Well, what Kevin said is for the black, especially for the black man. Bots listen to him and other black men listen to him, and just really listen because there was some black men who said, hey, he might be degraded women. But the thing is, when they start really listening to him, and the thing is, it's like, for me, he put like the value into the black man because there was some black men that don't think that was valuable to themselves.
Yep.
Some black men just like, hey, I'm here just to do what I need to do. If I listen to my woman, whatever. But when Kevin Sells came up and everything, and to say like, hey, man, men in general, but mostly black men, you are valuable. And to hear another black man say that, or older black men say that, because usually you don't see other black men in these YouTube spaces talking like how Tammy Savage will talk about, especially in the mainstream media. You will rarely hear that because they, like I said, because really you hear a black man speaks about it, they really be pandering to a woman, especially in pastors and churches as well. They really pander to a woman. So when Cameron Seven came in, and then we with his platform, and then as we know one of the his episode that went viral of are if are you a 10 or not and everything that skyrocketed and everything, and then people start really looking at it and everything, especially the black man. You know, Campsite was really the first person that I heard. I don't know for you guys, but that I heard that put the value into the black man. As you are, is like I said, it's God, then the man, then the woman, then the children, and everything. If you go before that, if you go in our community, like I said, we put, even though this is good, we put our black women up there. The thing is, it's like we see it. It's like the black woman was first, and then we was either be, or we was just in the bottom, or not. Saying neck and neck with them. And I feel, Shahrazad Ali, she missed a step on that and everything, because Ronnie was right. She was disingenuous in what she was saying about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels spoke a lot about you. And another reason, if Kevin Samuels was going to talk about, if Kevin Samuels didn't talk about you, you probably would do the interview he was doing right now. You wouldn't. And there's a lot of people that kind of interview as well when Kevin started talking Pikachu. I believe MTR interviewed her. I think Courtney Michelle interviewed her, and there was a few other people that interviewed her as well. And then also the thing that at the Hidden History Museum here in Los Angeles, where Tariq Nasheed, Tariq Nasheed make a plaque of Shahrazad Ali in his Hidden History Museum. So don't, like I said, not, and so you not just in, I'll just say this, not just in the Muslim community that there are some people in the black community that know who you are as far as Ali. They know. If you want to go back to the in the late 80s and early 90s, you was a figure at one time. You was such a bigger figure that they did comedy sketches about you. I believe I remember one episode they did a Living Color, and I think it was Kim Wayne who did a comedy skit about her of Shahrazad Ali. Like I said, people knew who he was back in the 80s and 90s, but right now, when Cammy Sanders came in, they didn't know who he was. So, to me, there should be a little bit more respect of what you was talking about, Cammy Sanders, because, like I said, if it wasn't Cammy Sanders mentioning your name constantly, and just looking like, hey, you got a couple books out there, especially the controversial book of The Black Man, the Gods, which you understand a black woman. Which I have myself. I read a couple of times, and it helped me out in my relationship and everything. Like I said, Shahrazad Ali, you probably wouldn't know who you are. Go, yeah, then you right, Gore. She said, cloud chasing. What you said?
100%.
Facts.
100%, Gore. You hit that right on the tip. That's what it sounded like. As old as she is, she clout chasing. You supposed to be our senior. You around here chuckling about somebody dying. Even I know not to disrespect. And listen, I'm even as cautious to speak on Shahrazad Ali because she still is the queen mother. But no, queen, I did not like the way you said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen, Joe heard him say one thing. He said one thing for sure, brother Kevin brought a lot to the forefront again. This is the fact. Listen, we was not having conversations about black men, about black men and black women issues, about loving black women, about regular black men. You know what resonated to me about Kevin more than anything? Not the high value stuff. I can't sign on to that. I signed on to being a regular man and telling the women to look at the regular guys as also something as well. That stuck to me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That stuck to me more than anything. Not wearing Gucci shades, Versace's, and paying this and that. I come from a very hardworking family, just like a lot of y'all. My daddy was a truck driver. I was a truck driver. Differences, I went to college. You know what I mean? But my
Mm-hmm.
daddy provided a lifestyle for us, and he talked about his grandfather. He talked about his grandmother. You know what I mean? He talked, you know what I mean? and he talked about appreciating the regular men and saying, hey, you feel like the options are slim picking. There's not enough high value men to go around. But you do got a lot of these brothers who own their trucking companies, own a landscaping company who's worth 2.5, 1.6, 7 point million. I know a guy here in Florida who's worth 3.5 million just off of landscaping. Wear Dickies all day. Wife is his high school sweetheart. She drives a Mercedes. But a typical woman would not look at him. You know what I mean? He only dates black women. This is what I'm saying. Like, so there was a lot of stuff I even think that the appreciation for black relationships was put to a forefront in us. And listen, like it or not, you don't. He had other people on one side and he had other people on the side who agreed with black women. It was not 100%. Thanks to him, people who agreed with the voices of black women started to start talking. Melanie King, what's the other girl name who was on the Lapeef Network?
Corey Michelle.
Corey Michelle. You know what I mean? There was a number of these girls who was saying that, you know what I mean, who had their own spin.
Chantel Simone.
Chantel Simone, the girl with the tattoo on her chest. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of them. Or Six the Goddess.
She's the goddess.
Six the Goddess and stuff
Danica
like
Marie.
Danica Marie. You know what I mean? We had a lot of these queens who spoke for women. So Kevin has spawned another thing too and taught us too, was teaching the black women appreciate black men. In another sense too, teaching black men to appreciate black women. If you don't think what I'm saying, because listen here, whenever he had those live streams, he did not let other people from other places disrespect black women in a sense. I never seen that. I didn't have no problem with it because it was one of us talking to one of ours and trying to have a good conversation. There's many women he applauded. Many women he applauded. Many women said, girl, what's the guy who was doing the mobile notary thing? What's that guy name?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It was another relationship that wasn't too known that this guy got with this nice young lady. It was a couple women in the Facebook group that had got together because of his situation, and you know what I mean. These guys was breaking bank, taking these women out on dates, proposing and stuff like that. He was telling men to get married. I've never heard him say have casual sex. I've never heard him say no. He was saying, yo, 6 months or more, what's up? You lock in, get ready.
Yeah, you're right, Hakeem. Also, I'm gonna have another key points too. One thing about us, especially here at Chaos Culture Radio, his messaging, how to, his messaging is, how get relationships together, especially with black men and black women. One of his messages, we're doing it here on the show, doing this on the show,
Get
on
married.
a weekly basis, because we know we vouch for marriage, on Chaos Culture Radio. So, with that, what Kevin Samuel was saying, how we get together, that's what we're trying to do as well. We're trying to preach the same message.
Yo, so before we read this, I want to give a shout out to Kareem Lawson. This is my guy. I went to high school with him. I grew up with this guy. He's an exemplary example of a black man who loved black women. And my brother, sorry for your loss. I love you, my brother. Thank you for watching me. You know what I mean? Exemplary black husband. You know what I mean? I wanted to give this guy a shout out. You know what I mean? That's a fact. Prince Hakeem, he once swiftly corrected a Latino woman for saying something about black women. Where's the
I remember that episode.
I remember that episode. He's yes, my brother, I love you, man. You got my prayers and I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? This my brother, you know what I'm saying? It says vibe, look out, brother. Yeah, so when we start having these conversations, and we start talking about being normal people and living a normal life, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And this is the fact that I love about it, and even to the point where he brought his own mama into the conversation. His
Yeah.
mama married a regular person. He praised the regular man that married his mama, and she had been more happier than ever. So so
Facts.
Shahrazad Ali, who is our senior, our mother queen, which
And we
I
love dearly. We love dearly.
love her. We'll never speak negative about a queen. That's not a good example to talk about one of our elders, because you are elder and he's one of our elders. You know what I mean? And we
Right.
need to be very cognizant about that and very aware of how we speak and who other people look. Because now we just look at, like, we could talk about anybody in our community. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. We supposed to chastise you when you do something bad, no matter how old you is. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And this the thing. Now, this is the more conversation where Shahrazad Ali saying this, just saying that we're more divided in that, to a person who adored her. Kevin adored her. Kevin adored Shahrazad Ali. Listen, to be honest with you, I had forgot about her. She wasn't on my mind like that. He kept
Same with
reiterating,
me.
you know what I mean? Kept reiterating, kept bringing the book up, even showed the book online on
Yeah.
one of his streams.
Yeah, and I remember Hakeem, like we first met the Shahrazad Ali. I was like, oh, like I said, we first mentioned, like, oh, okay, so this is where you got the blueprint from. Because, like I said, a lot of stuff that you see that Kevin Samuels, you get a lot of controversy, especially in the black community. Shahrazad Ali was getting the same thing back in the late '80s and early '90s. As you guys don't know, you know what, Hakeem? I'm see if I can find a clip when when she was getting she was controversial. I'm going to TikTok and everything because I don't know if a lot of people don't know or don't remember. When that book came out, back in 1989, the Black Man's Guide with the black woman, she got crucified, and then the one thing she got beat with out, and then one person that got beat with at the time back in the early in the late '80s and early '90s is her. I remember Ayala Van Zant
Yeah,
was at one of her shows and everything, and she was having beef with Charles R. Ali because he thinks she was doing wrong with the black woman and everything. I'm gonna see if I can find that clip and everything. But yeah, a lot of stuff that Kevin saying was getting criticized in our community. The same thing as Shiraz R. Ali was getting criticized for. And to me, I don't know why Shiraz R. Ali was said that, knowing the same thing Kevin saying was getting criticized for, you was as well. And I don't know if she really thought about that. Said, hey, what? He's kind of doing what I'm doing. He's read my book. He's got a blueprint. He maybe remixing it up, and turn it into his own and everything, try to help out and everything. Firstly, he didn't make it all the way. God bless his soul. Rest in power, my brother. But Kevin Samuel was onto something. He was really, really onto something. Now, his channel is still up. He's still getting subscribers. He's almost with 2 million subscribers. So whoever's working in the background with Kevin Samuels, they trying to find clips of his old episode. Try to freshen up and everything, and still try to put the content out. Still talk about relationships in a way. Also help out men, help out women, and everything. So, like I said, there's still content that of his channel is still getting pushed out there and everything. And to me, like I said, Kevin Samuel, he has legacy because we still talking about him. He's been passed away over a year now, Hakeem, and we're still talking about him. Still talking about
talking
him.
about it.
Like
Talk
like
about
he's
it.
still living.
Yeah, like it doesn't change. But you know what I mean. That tells you how powerful he is. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You could say You could say he's similar to Edgar Allan Poe. You know what I mean? God,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? God always sends his messengers, and he sends his messengers in different ways to try to bring some light into this. He wanted us to fix our relationship. You know what I mean? And shout out to PJ
Yeah.
Austin. Shout outs to PJ Austin, brother. Um, it says it's because brothers' words resonate to many of us, good or bad. 100%. You know what I mean? One thing I did like about that Kevin talked about, he talked a lot about brothers getting their money together, getting yourself together, wiping your
Yep.
ass, brushing your teeth. He has many videos about that. He's holding men accountable so many times. Wipe your ass, cut your hair, black man.
Yeah. I
He's
said,
the
go
hmm?
ahead, go ahead, finish. I'll let you know. Go ahead and finish. My bad.
Yeah. He's kind of the reason why I try to keep a regular shave. You feel me? You know what I mean? Because it's all about representation and and looking appeasing and stuff like that, and the way you present yourself in public, how you dress, not having the ass lingering on. You know what I'm saying?
And how you smell, how and dig into detail because women look at your shoes, women look at your teeth, women smell your scent, and he was just tackling all that. If you want to be that top dog, you want to keep looking good, make sure you got your clothes looking good. You got a couple suits, cologne, if you got cologne, if you can't get cologne, get some cheap cologne, just build your wardrobe up and everything. So here, guys, we're gonna show you a video of the controversy that Kevin Samuel that experienced when he was 11 and with his YouTube. This is what Shahrazad was doing, back in the late 80s and early 90s. Kind of the same thing what Kevin Samuel was doing, but this is what's on the show. So this is a clip with Ayanna Van Zant and how she was going in on Shahrazad Ali. Go ahead, King.
What minute mark you want me to stop at?
You could probably stop at 5 minutes.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, if not, I'll let you know if you start a little shorter. I'll type it in for you.
This is not our culture. This book is anti-cultural, anti-African, and anti-historical. Wait a minute. Because our ancestors have said that our key to our growth is love. This book contains no love. It doesn't encourage love. It doesn't support love. And it dismisses the most loving force on this earth, the African woman.
Take a break. Us, if he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's the problem.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hakeem. That was the wrong footing. My bad. Let me send you the other one.
I completely resonate with Ebony's.
You can stop it, Hakeem. My bad. Let me send you the other one. My bad. I sent the wrong one. I thought it was the right one. I sent it to you. Give me 1 second.
That's how Shahrazad Ali sending that mojo to us.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Rock Fresh?
Oh, okay. I'm sending you another one. It's a shorter one, but yeah. Here you go. I'm sending it to you.
Liberated Soul. I love you, my brother. You have a right to speak your mind no matter what. He says no disrespect to y'all, brother, because I rock with y'all. But y'all are but what y'all presenting about Kevin Samuel seemed very basic, as if it was something groundbreaking as far as being clean and smelling good, etc. Okay, you want to touch on that before I play that? Because
I
he has
can.
a point.
He has a point, and I hear you liberate soul, but I've been with a lot of guys, especially with these young men. Some young men I work with, they do not keep they're not clean shaven. They sometimes they don't be smelling good. And to me, that really is the basic. But a lot of people, especially black men, they really don't know the basics. I remember, Ronnie, he did a episode on his channel of that how some men they don't really clean under themselves. They really don't like when they wipe their butt. They really don't clean. And also because Kevin Samuels, he also did a episode early on, he was talking about, helping men out and everything. And he was going off on men's like how men, they don't be smelling good, they don't be shaving, they don't keep themselves, keep themselves clean or anything. So there's a lot of men that don't either bathe in a couple of days, they don't know how to clean themselves. Go ahead, King.
He says, I wasn't too familiar with Kevin, didn't know about him until shortly after he passed. But from what I've heard about him, I still lost a huge, I still lost a, I still, I'm still lost on a huge contribution to men. Most definitely. Listen, so Liberated, so you have a right to think the way you think, because a lot of the stuff he's saying, you probably automatically do already. What he's saying is not groundbreaking, and that's a fact. I want to give you're right then on. But the problem is there wasn't nobody talking about it. If there was, show him to me. I didn't know who Kevin was till somebody from work brought him to me. You feel me? Because we was talking about different things. We wasn't focusing on relationship and improving black men. Other spaces had that for their stuff, body improvement, getting and stuff like that. Our counterparts always talks about those things. Our white counterparts always telling the man to go into the gym, get right, get buff, get this. But the point is, his message directly attacked black men and black people. This is what made it so groundbreaking. But from a surface level, it was basic.
Exactly.
But it was very basic. You're 100% right. I think the pastor might have told some dude to brush your teeth and come in here clean shaved. But the thing about it is, outside of that, who was telling people from the masses, like, yo, black men need to cut their hair? That was one video I saw. I say he's on to something. Even though we know hair has kept us out of a lot of talking situations. You know what I mean? He said Jordan Peterson is a great example of this. Messaging already exists 100%. And that's a Canadian boy. You know what I mean? But Jordan Peterson spoke for the masses, but black people wasn't searching for Jordan Peterson. We wasn't Googling.
A lot of people don't know. A lot of black people don't know about Jordan Peterson.
And thank you. But listen here. Another reason, and I'm going to play this video, why it resonated to us. And let me ask you that, Liberator. So, but Kevin Samuel was specific to black men, 100%. Listen here. When you looked at Kevin, he looked at like your granddaddy. He looked at like your daddy. He looked at like your older brother. He looked at like your uncle. That's why it hit different.
And not just that, Hakeem, he talked to you like you was your son or you was your daughter as well.
Amazing. He said, my thing is, if you was funky as hell and looking fresh, but you have a brilliant mind, then can present something, then could actually move the community progressively. As are we to ignore him? If the message is powerful enough, Liberated Soul, it's gonna get through the masses. Because let's hear about this. Kevin was on YouTube for 10 years before he ever blew. That was God's plan. That had nothing to do with nobody else. Because here's the thing. There have been many jokers that have been suppressed that hasn't even got to Kevin Samuel's status where his name ring bells even after the death.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and play this.
Wrong.
That's right.
They are 50% wrong too
That's
in that
right.
case. So we need a mutual understanding. We don't need to become slaves to them.
Well,
You're
we
taking
can't
us
get any
back
understanding
100
until we
years.
accept our share of the responsibility. The black man has always been picked up by everyone and talked about why he's wrong, what he's doing that's not correct, and how he has left us and mismanaged his family, but we've never examined why he has left us. He's left us because we are too hard to get along with.
Now, you as a black man are as responsible for standing on your 2 feet as I am responsible here right now.
What did we do wrong?
What did we do wrong?
What did we do wrong?
What we did wrong was carrying your behind for the last 15 years. On top of that, I have a son. My name is Yanla Van Zandt, and I am a Yoruba priestess and a cultural custodian. This is not our culture. This book is anti-cultural, anti-African, and anti-historical. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because some of my ancestors insensitive. Our ancestors have said that our key to our growth is love. This book contains no love. It doesn't encourage love. It doesn't support love. And it dismisses the most loving force on this earth, the African woman. Take a break.
And then around that time, as you can see, this was generated, around, our black community. Now with Kevin Samuels, read the book and then try to put it to his platform. Not only it hit the black community, it hit all over the world because some of the stuff that other than the book about relationship, a lot of people could understand that, not just from the black community, but all parts of the world and everything. And that's another reason why he blew up and everything. And I thank Kevin Samuels for talking about relationships, especially in our community, because we actually get to talk about it. Not just at Chaos Culture Radio, but everybody's been talking about relationships and everything, how we can figure it out. But I know here on Chaos Culture Radio, we always trying to find a solution. We're not trying to blast black men, we're not trying to blast black women. We're just trying to say we're better together. How can we fix the situation? And that's what Kevin Samuels was trying to do.
100%. Let me read this. Because he doesn't look or smell the part. And I got y'all as far as some of the folks didn't get the basic of understanding coming up. But to get some type of reverence for that, the bar is very low for us as men. 100%. Liberated soul. I'm not going. You're speaking facts, brother. The bar been low. But let me tell you something. How many of us has gotten to the point where we speaking up for black men in a whole to tell us to do right? The only people I know, but they don't get enough rep, the Nation of Islam. They talking about cleaning up yourself, taking care of your woman, not beating on your woman, making sure you be in society. Not even the Nawapians or the Israelites do that. They wear the Ben Hur gear and they want to be polygamous and stuff like that.
Right.
I ain't never heard them boys talk about cleaning yourself up or teach you any sort of being entrepreneurial and making sure you're taking care of your woman. I've been around them. I've been at their meetings. Our only group of people I've ever heard talk like that Kevin talked, was the Nation of Islam.
Because Nation in-laws, they are a tight-knit group. They're do not play around. They are strict.
They're not playing. And you know what I mean? Kevin gave them a lot of props for their structure as far as family and that. And let's get it straight. The Nation of Islam structure and family is no different than Orthodox Muslim and Orthodox Jews. But the thing is, our bar is so low because we feel like it ain't none of our business. I'm getting money. I don't need to talk to a bunch of the masses of black men to help them get somewhere. We're good. Everybody need to go fix their own self. You know what I mean? The reason why I took his message was so serious that I don't listen to a lot of these jokers, because there's one thing Kevin said that a lot of these other guys, the wrap-up crew, the wrap-up crew, the Lapeef show, Lapeef, what's that other, the bald head guy and all these guys, they're talking about this. None of them talking about marriage. They missing the key point to Kevin's message. None of them is talking about marriage. That's how I know Kevin was serious about what he was talking about. He was telling everybody to get married, and people then was giving pushback. Oh, everybody don't need to get married. You cannot have a community without families. And how do you have families? With marriage.
Facts. And to really listen to, for me, Kevin Samuel helped me out a lot because, he took me to look at marriage in a different perspective and everything, and just really be appreciative of my wife and everything. And that what Kevin did to me, it made my marriage, very strong, very, very strong, because, I never had a person like Kevin Samuel just talk to me out that the outlook of looking on a marriage and how they can, build your legacy and everything from a man and from a woman. And just being married, you doing right by your community. Having kids, that's even greater.
100%. Liberated soul. You're talking now. We're getting. They say, I guess I have more research I have to do because it seems to play more if a role in a greater divide between black men and black women as opposed to a holistic approach. You want to know something? A lot of us have been approaching this from a religious standpoint and a cultural standpoint. Let's get that straight. The black American here in America can't do what the Yoruba people have done. Can't be Africans. They can't be Haitians. They can't be Jamaicans. They can't be from St. Croix. They can't be from this. Those are cultural aspects different from the culture of people in black America. So he spoke for people who were black. Doesn't matter if you was from the diaspora, but you aligned yourself as being black in America. So he spoke from that approach. We have been divided. We've been divided. And this is how you can tell if a person's message is genuine or not. If they're not talking about getting together and linking up and getting married, I get tired of niggas talking about OnlyFans models and all this. That's not the point. Because you got the whatever podcast, you got Fresh and Fit. Them boys want to create incels. Kevin said get married in 6 months. Kevin said pay all the bills. If you want to be respected in your house, you need to earn and you need to pay like you weigh. And sometimes he's speaking for men who have the money, but he also was telling people to appreciate regular men. And he also taught us regular men can't act like they shit don't stink. And his message was not to inflate yourself to say that I'm going to try to boss up on women. No, brother. You don't have that kind of money. But he also gave a perception and told women this: high value men, you're sharing them. There's not enough to go around. And the one that you want, you're gonna have to do special work to get.
Facts. Shout out to Joe Hurdle. He said, "We are living examples of when we are strong fathers and husbands. This is what our teachings express." Facts.
He says, we as men got to change our mind frame. All the other stuff dressed up nicely, but what about the internal conflict we have as men that we have to address? These type of things move me, not basic. I 100% agree with you. Here's another thing that Kevin talked about. Kevin was telling niggas to go to therapy. Let's get that straight. Liberated soul. He was very big on therapy. He went to therapy. He was telling black men to go to therapy. There's so many hours of his content. A lot of people just focus on those viral moments. We got to get rid of the viral stuff and start listening to the fluff. There was a lot of shit he said. He gave a blueprint.
Yeah, and I was saying that one that really touched me. I know it touched you, Hakeem, and this was an episode. This is what your father should have told you.
Woo, Jesus,
that was powerful.
That was powerful.
Yeah, Liberator. So you get a chance. This check his content out. He's definitely got old content about men and everything. What made him controversial was with him with the women and everything, but he has stuff in there that that can help men out. And then also, even though he's passed away, there's content that's out there that I don't know who's in the background with his channel and everything, that I think he did like a couple of months ago about Men's Week, and he was pushed, and they pushed that the whole week. How to get a job, black men, how to get a job.
Yep.
How to smell good. How to look good. Everything. And I'm glad they're still pushing this content out from the Sound channel.
You know what I mean? And this is somebody who was our senior. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people did not agree with his message. And you know what I mean? You shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff you had to chew out the bone and spit it, but when it resonated to certain people, it resonated to certain people. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of people became content creators because of him.
A lot of people are getting paid because of him.
100%.
And the thing is, a lot of people, and I think a lot of people that disagree with his delivery, but his delivery got him subscribers. His delivery got him, viewers. And with that delivery, in order to change things, like you got to make things uncomfortable, which Kevin did. He made it uncomfortable. He got controversial, and that's how he became big.
Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? There's a lot that I've learned as far as just looking at him as him being my senior, as him understanding that life is very short, and whatever powerful message you can leave and life is reflecting on that. You know what I mean? And what is your duty to becoming a person here? You know what I mean? And being a man to your woman and loving and respecting the woman that belongs to us and adoring them and honoring them and this and that. We've repeatedly said here the reason why we are where we at right now is due to the big support of black women on this channel. Not negating that black men doesn't haven't supported us. Black men has always been here, but our biggest support is black women here. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, we, you know what I mean, we look at this and appreciate black women to the point where we understand that this is why our message is tailored to a specific message of marrying black women, loving black women, trying to get black women to understand who we are as regular men, not high value men. I need to preference that. You know what I mean? Because that's a certain type of content that has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? And wanting to build happy families and get married, and we don't talk the same type of stuff a lot of these guys out here talk. We're not telling you to go be deviant. We're not telling you to sleep with mad women. We're not telling you to disrespect your woman, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? So when I hear him, I've never heard him say that. But I do guess that, you know what I mean, when you sometimes you have to be the villain to get your, you know what I mean, to people will prop you up as the villain to get your point across.
That's true. Because like I said, he one thing about that is like I said, a lot of women they don't like nice guys. And that's what, when Kevin Sir played the villain, he was kind of, as you say, he might be the bad guy, as women kind of like the bad guy, and that's what he did, and that's what he got the followers, and that's what he got the viewers and everything. And a lot of people don't know, a lot of his fans, a lot of people that subscribe to him, not was just black men, it was black women. The black woman got him to where he was.
100%.
Just saying.
Black men was not donating to the channel like that. Women was watching it from a herd because what he was talking about was resonating to them. And one big component was marriage, was trying to find a man. Most niggas wasn't watching his show like that. It was mainly women trying to get up there to talk to him. You feel me? And marriage is the key, brothers. And it's the thing. He said, Joe Hordham said this is what a key thing. Facts, brother Kevin, as he did to make black women accountable as well, which triggered a lot of backlash they have not heard in that fashion. At the end of the day, we should all love each other, and we know we can't live without y'all, depending on what our circumstances are. There's love for us in so many ways. We just got to get this together, and that's what he was saying. There was another live stream that he said, which clicked in my mind. I was like, oh my God, this man was a genius. He said, you know how much money America's making off you black women and you black men for being single?
Yes.
He broke that down. He said, y'all living in separate apartments. You paying high rent, he paying high rent. You paying high car note, he paying car note. We can alleviate that, bankrupt a lot of these apartment buildings, bankrupt a lot of these mechanics who take advantage of y'all because you're not a woman, because you're a woman. Us getting together can alleviate a lot of the problems that we face and deal with in society because the family structure has been fractured.
For a long time. A long time. And for us at Chaos Culture Radio, we some of this message were that he said, we trying to take it over here and we're just trying to, help our community, this is, especially with relationship and everything, because once we get that turned on, we can see a lot of difference in our community.
Definitely. Listen, our main focus here, if we trying to build a community and we're following his specific teachings, there's a lot of stuff we don't have to agree with. But the main thing that I agree with him, that we need to get married. And it should not take you a long time to get married. If you're over 35, It shouldn't take you 2 to 3 years to know if this the person you're going to stay with. If you want to keep her as in-house P, go buy a prostitute. We're not here for none of that. You want to be a deviant? We're not here for none of that. We're not supporting no man having kids out of wedlock. We're not supporting none of that. These kids need fathers. These kids need men in the houses. This is what we preaching. We looking for men who's ready to be husbands, fathers, and leaders in the community. All that other sucker stuff, we ain't on that. And that's the stuff that I resonate with him more, you know what I mean, than anything. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
and this is why he said, I guess I focus so much on self-work, I don't buy into addressing anything else because I know we're skipping steps, which will yield bad results. You want to know something? There's no problem with you thinking from an individual's perspective. Most of us think like that, and that's no problem. Self-preservation is the first thing we practice in the ghetto. Oh man, you got to look out for yourself. You know what I mean? So, and so we definitely have to do. Oh look,
Okay, Natasha.
he say, I spoke to a gentleman today who asked his wife hand in marriage after dating for 2 months. They celebrated their 10-year of marriage.
Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to them. This is what Kevin was talking about. He say 6 months minimum. He say it shouldn't have to take long.
Especially in your 30s and 40s for sure.
Come on, man.
Because you
Listen,
already know what you're looking for.
a lot of us don't got a lot of time to live. My brother, I mentioned my brother who was on this show, Kareem. I grew up with him. Good brother, stand up guy, raised his kids, was married to his was married to his wife. You know what I mean? His wife had just recently passed away. I went to high school with him. They've been together forever. He was with her to the end. Black love, I don't know what like black love to a point from a scope that I've never seen before in my demographic. Y'all talk about Remy Ma and Papoose. That nigga was doing that unconsciously in a regular way. Stand up guy. And locked in his woman and took care of his kids. This is what Kevin was talking about. This is the life that a lot of us deserve. He said, hey, Chocolate Earth Foundation.
Yeah, shout out to you, Chocolate Earth.
He said, we'll still exit and eventually surface. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So I just think it's rough to hear some of our seniors to Urbanoids say facts. Gotta address your issues before marriage, liberated. So that's a self-explanatory situation. One thing is too, he's always talking about this too. He mentioned men and women need to go to couples counseling. That's why I say you got to go listen to. There's a lot of information.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff y'all saying in the chat, I've watched hours of conversation. This is the
So
thing that
me
he
too.
said. You know, this is the thing. You take one or two sound bites and make an opinion about it when there's millions, there's hours of content that he said so many different things on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I said, majority of black people, like I said, because Kevin said talked about we need therapy because I'll tell you like this, being married for a little bit, being my wife for a long time. Once you get married, all that trauma stuff comes out. It definitely comes out. And a lot of people don't know that. It will come out. All your trauma in your past, parents, what happened to you, but past relationship, it will come out. And to me, you got to really, really fix these things. Get therapy, get a couple counseling while you doing it. We're not saying, I mean, marriage is just like what things to solve, but to add on to it, therapy and counseling. If you guys can get that done, hey, that could help out a lot.
Next week, I'll be celebrating 17 years of marriage to my wife. If I had took my time, no doubt I would have lost out on those 17 years I jumped at the chance as soon as I could. This is what Kevin was talking about.
That's what I'm talking about, Jordan. Hold on, shoot. I need to see you a champagne bottle, baby.
We got to send you a champagne bottle. This is what he was talking about. This is the message we putting out. When a man know what he want, he's not going to take his time unless the situation is turbulent. Therapy before marriage. Therapy while you're in a relationship. Therapy, 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 therapy.
Thanks, Hakeem.
We all know we need some help. God damn it, I need some help. I'm a raging bull. We don't have to keep reiterating it. The message has been already there. Kevin is the only one who have said this, but we only focus on the sound bites.
Yeah. Oh, and he also talk about, if you have a problem, have a difficult with life and everything, get your life coach.
Get you a life coach. He told men not to get into a relationship if you can't afford a date.
He did. He said that. I remember he said on the Joe Budden podcast. He said, "Hey, if you like say if you don't got no money, get your ass up, get a job, get 2 jobs, and work your ass out till you try to get some money."
Listen, we can go another one. I remember he said, "Hey, if you working at Kroger's, you go get you a second job here, talking to regular men. Now you're making $20 an hour. Go get you a life coach, like you said. Fix yourself up, clean yourself up, and get yourself together."
Yep.
He said, "Y'all gave me enough time. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about." Most definitely.
Yes, sir.
We're all a shell of our true selves, waiting to blossom. We're all a shell of our true selves, waiting to blossom. And if God give us enough time on this earth, we're going to be what he had designed us for. The thing is, God will send messengers to enlighten you on certain things, to be like, hey, this is what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Let's stop focusing on the nuances because the message is always there. Let's stop pointing fingers like this and that when we already know what we do. Everybody going to keep saying you need to fix yourself. You need to fix them. You need to fix them. Let's just fix it. The message is already there. We have examples. Joe heard him. Joe heard him. We have examples of my brother here who's been with his wife 10 years. Joe heard him 17. Sherry Bryant been with Gorilla Black for a large number of years. My homeboy, Mr. Lawson. There's many, many more of that. So this talk that you see online from the YouTubians, from Queen Maker, from Cynthia G, and all these, that don't translate in real life. Those are YouTubians. Those are YouTubians. Real people are getting married. Black love has not just died. Those are niggas just getting a check. Those niggas ain't telling you to get married. They telling you to stay far away from you so you can lose your goddamn money. They got agents who want us to not get together to divide us. And also got to give Dr. Umar Johnson credit that it is his word, the YouTubians. I got to put that in there.
You got to, yeah.
I got to put that in there. I didn't make that up. The Instagram philosophers and the YouTubians. You know what I mean? Let's stop listening to all these jokers. Go look at your goddamn grandmama. I don't trust nobody who can't use their goddamn grandmother as an example. Kevin talked about his grandmama and his mama in a lot of his speeches. None of these goofies have. He says, I can give that brother that title, a smart businessman that capitalized, and it was more about clicks and views as opposed to actually fixing the root of the problem. I inclined to believe that there was more. Listen, liberated soul, you have a right to be objective, and I want you to still challenge that.
And respect that. And we
And we will
respect that.
respect that. Because
Absolutely.
we all going to look at it from a different perspective. You know what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say? Until you get more information, or you probably got enough information. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And there was a time, Liberated Soul, I was thinking just like him. Until I deep dive and I deep dive, I was like, oh, okay. So there was one time I was against Kevin Samuels. I was until I said, you know what? Let me be fair. Let me listen to him, listen to his content, and just listen to him. You know, I had to change of mind and change of heart.
Bruh. And sometimes you chew out the meat and spit out the bones. Some things the brother can inspire you to do, and some things people might not like. Not everything the messenger is going to say that a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like Elijah Muhammad. They didn't. They said he had many children with many women.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they said he was sleeping with this and that. We don't know that information.
Yeah. Everybody got haters. Everybody got disagree. Everybody.
Everybody, you know what I
Right.
mean? So everybody this. He said, I love a man who's big on family and marriage. If nobody's not talking that, they not the person you're supposed to listen to. I've yet to hear any of these guys, with the exception of Kevin, talk about marriage. Not the big up wrap up crew. Not all these other guys. What the bald head guy name is? What the bald head guy name is?
Oh, hey, do you got glasses or no?
He be on Anton show sometime. He used to be on Anton show with the bald head guy. He be
Oh,
on
Mr. Let Go?
Mr. Let Go.
Yeah.
I've never heard him talk about marriage. Never heard Fresh and Fit talk about marriage. They don't care about that. These guys are pickup artists.
Yeah.
They bring little girls on their show, not real women.
Oh.
We can go down the list of all the niggas that who are very problematic in our community, but we still go to Kevin because of his sound bites. And he's the only person where there's hours of content telling black men to get married. I don't
Yeah.
know what to say.
And the thing is, I'm looking at space. There's more black women talking about marriage than black men do.
Way women been on that. They stressing
Yeah.
that.
They
Women been
stress
on it.
that. Yes, they stress it to the hardest.
Kevin's the only person out of all the black women who've been preaching marriage, preaching getting together. April Mason, all sent what's the lady? Sent the Pope lady,
Um, um,
Rebecca Lynn Pope,
Rebecca Lynn Pope. Yep.
who are date. Listen, this is the difference between black women dating coaches and other dating coaches. These women was trying to get women married. Them other niggas was not doing that.
X.
The same could be said about brother Martin Luther King, but the message was the same. Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But with your love, you keep your family together. Let's talk about it. Martin Luther King was in love with a white lunch lady. A white lunch lady. Go look at Dr. Abernathy's book. Most of these men are so we if we're gonna question Kevin, we can go back to our heroes.
Yeah.
We can go back to our heroes. If you want to talk about it, black love is our only salvation. It's the only thing to fix. So what all these other people is talking about, they're not in my atmosphere. They want to call, you know what I mean? All y'all who want to criticize and all that, I'm talking about getting married. I'm talking about bringing black women and black men together. I give a fuck about who the queen maker is and all them who talks with so much vitriol about men. Her hatred with men is so dead, and you know what I mean? And I don't want to bring her up. I respect the queen. The queen is getting her bag. I don't want to make my money like that. I don't want to sell books like that. That's why my book is titled Black Love. And we working on something, the art of loving the black woman.
And make
I
sure you
don't
guys get the book. It's on the community tab. Just want
on
to
the
say
community.
that.
I don't care about nothing else. I don't care about bringing us together as people. We already know we got to do the work. We already know we got to come together. He says, he said, "Oh, trust. I question everybody. Nobody is above reproach with me. I'm critical of everybody, and and I respect that.
I respect that. Thank you, Liberator. So we
That
appreciate that.
I really appreciate that. And you
Yeah,
have to. We
you
have
have
to.
to. Yeah, I'm the same way. I get it.
Yeah, same here. But you
Same
want to know
here.
something? We on the same page. We're having this conversation, even though we don't agree. You should be able to come here and talk to us and challenge us on our talking points and tell us,
Exactly.
"Hey, I don't like that," without me telling you you're wrong. You're this and that. You're this and no, brother. I
Right.
need your opinion because maybe there's some things I can learn from you, liberated soul, that can
Right.
say, because I might go back home and say certain things he said here. I might need to relook at this.
Yeah. Yeah. What we have right now is it's healthy dialogue. I'm cool with it.
Very healthy dialogue. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, our purpose, our goal is not to make men pick up artists, is not to make women get money from niggas. Is not that. Is for y'all to get married, for y'all to raise these kids. We do that every day here. Yeah, thank you, Gore. We don't support pickup artists. We don't support getting money from dudes. We don't support you balling. We support love for each other as people and building a family, a community. I want to be able, by the God of blessings, that the day I get married, I invite all y'all come. I'm trying to be a better man for the woman who's going to be in my life. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better provider. I want to be a better leader in the community. I want to show and exemplament that I care about women. I want to be able to be a man that is respected, that is not conflicted. I do the work. I go to therapy. You know what I mean? I talk to my brothers. I ask them opinions if I'm moving a certain kind of way. Or if I need to take a time out for myself to get myself together so I can be a better person for that. Because this is the type of message we want to send to men. Women already know that. Women already know that. You know what I mean? That conversation is always talked to amongst their friends. Girl, you're going to have to go healing. Girl, we need to go on a girls trip. We need to do some soul searching. You need to know your worth. We need to start telling black men, brothers, let's know our worth. Let's kumbaya together. If you want to cry here, cry with me. And then we'll slap box after to talk, you know what I mean? But I want
Mm-hmm.
you to cry. I want you to cry. And then we'll slap box to get that testosterone up a little bit. And then we can sit here, bust down a cigar, and drink some, you know what I mean, drink some 0-calorie water and eat some fruit. It helps with our testosterone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of us got diabetes. You know what I mean?
That's facts. Hey man, that was beautiful, Akeem. Hey
Yeah.
guys, thank you guys. We did a little overtime. We reached over our hour mark and everything. Firstly, Ronnie, he had to go. There was Wi-Fi issues and everything. He will be back with us on Wednesday. But thank you guys. We want
Oh,
to
man.
give you guys a shout out. Shout out to Gore. Hey man, Liberation Soul, man. We appreciate you, man. Healthy dialogue, man. Back to back, we appreciate you. Shout out to Sherry Bryan, shout out to Sky, shout out to Urban Noise, shout out to Fresh Sounds, shout out to Chocolate Earth, Natasha, shout out to you. We appreciate you. PJ, shout out to you, PJ. Who else? Who else? Joe Don't Hurt Him. Shout out to you. American Negro. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else? Um, who else I'm missing?
Hey,
Rock Fresh. Shout out to
yeah.
you. Uh, who else? Vibe with the Big Heavy Podcast. Shout out to
Yeah.
you. Kareem, shout out to you, man. We appreciate you, man. My condolences for you, my brother. Who else? Ken Dog, shout out to you. Gore, shout out to you. I think
Jabari.
that Jabari, shout out to you. Anybody else on Facebook that we don't see, Hakeem?
Man, I don't even know. I'm a little bit old. My eyes ain't that good.
That's okay. But yeah, well, shout out to everybody that watches us on Facebook and shout out to watchers on Twitch on daily basics. So hey guys, remember, if you want to see us again, we go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We appreciate you guys. Also, guys, if you go to the community tab, we got the Chaos Culture Radio t-shirts right here. As we see, we got different colors. We got a Chaos Culture Radio hats. We have different colors that Ronnie he said he bought all 6 of them, so he's gonna be rocking them. And also we have the Chaos Culture Radio mug, people. Mug right here. Hey man, I like this mug. I drink to this mug every day, man. So if y'all want coffee, tea, whatever, make sure y'all get the mug and everything. Yeah, man, come support us, man. Come, go in there, could purchase the merch. We appreciate you guys very, very well. We really, really do. Go ahead.
Yeah, shout outs to Sky. Shout outs to Sky and Mommy. Shout outs to the Young Greatness. Shout outs to Gorilla Black.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to you guys. But hey, guys, we're at the end of our show. We will see you guys on Wednesday. We are over and out.
Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.